These aren't homemade. They're made in a factory. A bomb factory. They're bombs.
Welcome back, travelers. We were just kidding about all that bomb stuff, and welcome to Legendary Lore, where we're going to talk about, what are we talking about, Ricky, today? Is it zombies?
Yes, it is about zombies. Head full of zombies.
So that wasn't a good guess. Ricky told me ahead of time, and I wanted to sound cool, and now I ruined it. Take it away, Ricky.
Yep. I mean, at least you owned it. So basically, we're going to start this off by talking about one of the lesser, I was going to say Gravediggers. That'd be a Gravedigger. These are graph robbers, I think is a better way to describe it. But they're called Stitchers in this world. Ludovic of Ohm. So Ludovic is this wheezy, reclusive necro-alchemist, right?
Isn't he the guy with the Opus?
Yes, and we'll get to his Opus very soon. So he lives in Havenghoul, where he's having a ghoul time. And so basically what he wants to do is he wants to be able to create true life. Because he's an alchemist, he's not content with just creating Skaabs. Skaab, of course, being spelled Skaab, and it basically just means a Frankenstein monster kind of deal.
So it's not that thing I get when I scrape my knee?
Nope. So basically, Ludovic just drinks a bunch of potions and inhales tons of toxic vapors. And he has made his variety of partners extremely rich. He has taken Gerald Sassani under his wing to train him in the arts of necroalchemy. That gets us to two things. One, of course, we have Ludovic's Magnum Opus, or Ludovic's Opus, not Magnum. So basically, Krom is just this regular thing they see on the rooftops of Selhoff, and it has lightning coming off of it. Between its two heads, lightning just keeps going around. And basically just Ludovic is recognized for his insanity. He also has test subjects that hatches into giant Tyrannosaurus things. But what's really important here is Geralf and Gisa. Gisa and Geralf. These Sassani twins were basically, you can consider them to be a noble family. They had a lot of money. They were relatives, of course, of the Lunarch, Macias, and they were eventually banished from Thraben because there was a scandal that they basically got their parents to leave, right? Mm-hmm. Well, they wound up being in the Moorland, where they basically found a very strong love for taking corpses and making them move. And they started having little battles between the two of them. They don't like each other very much. And as they would fight with each other, they started to get progressively more and more crazy with their methods and their madness. And so it got to the point where Gareth had taken over the entirety of Trostad, which was a village that he overran and killed everyone there, and he used them himself, right? Gisa had actually attacked Trostad, and that made him very upset. Gerald saw this happen, and he sent her a messenger, Gerald's messenger. And he said, look, we're going to make some rules here, okay? If we're going to be waging war on each other, we got to do 5 things. You ready for this? You ready for this, Joe? These 5 laws of necro warfare, as he calls them?
Sure.
No spontaneous awakenings. So basically, that's because Gisa can just reach into the ground and pull out a corpse. Gerald has to build his guys. So no spontaneous awakenings. No luring, killing, and raising of bystanders or livestock. So you can't go around taking fresh corpses and raising them. We have to make sure that these things are already fresh, are already dead, already in the ground, and that's where we get our stuff. Combatants face off at a predetermined place and time. So if you're going to fight me, we got to set up a date for us to be able to deck each other's halls. Number 4, combatants must have at least 3 limbs to play. So if you're going out here with a grave crawler, I don't want to hear it. I don't want any of it. And then, of course, rule number 5, headquarters are off limits. There was a later addendum to the 5 laws of necro warfare because Gisa showed up with a magical sword called the Bloodletter that was particularly dangerous. And so that resulted in Gerald adding a 6th rule that says no magical swords. Now, here's the problem with that whole deal.
Gisa's way stronger than Giraffe.
Yes. And Gisa literally could care less about his rules.
It's in her flavor text.
Yes. And she does it specifically because she knows it makes him upset.
You didn't even win. You just broke all 6 of my rules. Yeah, that's the victory.
Yeah, pretty much. It's like, but why? Why not? But why? Because you told me not to.
Why just spend all the time making the rules? Because they're important to me. And that's why breaking them was important to me.
Now, that all said, Geralf and Gisa are still siblings. And so Geralf made the master of one of his zombie armies a creature named Grimgrin, which is this giant blue-black monster. And the reason he called it Grimgrin is because it reminded him of his sister's face. It's so good. And so when this is all happening, they happen to, they're like, the two of them have been fighting all this time, right? And so Geralf is like, hey, Gisa, I have an idea. You and me together join forces, invade Thraben. Avzit hasn't showed up. I think she's dead or something. If we go to Thraben, we can go in and we can kill Macias, our dear old cousin. And Gisa's like, yeah, sure, let's do it. And so you have these hordes on both ends just rushing the town. I'm not going to tell you guys, look it up if you guys want to read it, because it's a really cool scene of just continuously them going deeper and deeper into the town, destroying things. This also actually leads into the actual story where Liliana meets Geralf. Gisa's out there tending to the siege, and she has complete control over all of Geralf's scabs and all of her normal zombies. And they get through the outer wall, and then there's a fire. Audric, he shows up, and he starts basically corralling the zombies, and eventually actually captures Gisa. And he imprisons her in Writer's Lock, which is like this prison, right?
Nice.
Well, Geralf is like, you know what? It was my idea. It's my fault that she's captured. She's my sister. And we can't keep fighting if she's trapped into this whole time. So he sends a bunch of scabs over. They set her free. And then she tells him that she didn't need his help. And so it's at around this time that Geralf went under Ludovic's tutelage. And Gisa retreats to her manor, and she goes to find their parents, who are dead. And she brings them back as zombies. And then she puts her dad back in the ground because she didn't like him. And it's around that time that she meets Nahiri, and the two of them become very quick friends. And while that might have some bearing on the story to come, I think I'm going to leave that there. Joe, take it away.
Thank you guys so much for watching. If you liked it, go ahead and leave a like on the video, subscribe, and what do you guys more for? You just want to pull your zombies out of the ground, or you want to construct them? Let us know.
And would you follow the rules? Those seem like really reasonable rules.
No.